Today, we are going to tap into our pineal glands, and that is essential and really, really important. For those of you who are new to this process and haven't ever been on this call before, obviously my name is Kelly Kolodny. I've been channeling the angel Raphael since 1989, so a really, really long time. And it was a spontaneous thing that just happened to me. And when I channel, I close my eyes and I kind of rock like this back and forth, and my hands sort of move all over the place. And Raphael will come in and say hello. And Raphael will probably bring in a transmission and talk for a period of time and then go into the pineal gland activation. Just so you know, activating the pineal gland is something you really need to be open and ready to do and to receive. And just by doing it today, this one time, is a jump start to get it open, and you'll receive very high vibrations from just being in the presence of Raphael. However, it's something you want to continue to do and practice. And it's important to know that you only will receive as much energy as you are able to handle, so that nobody's circuits here are in a way going to get blown out. You know, when we're moving with such a high vibration and moving so much energy like this, sometimes people are worried that it's going to be too overwhelming and that they are not ready to assimilate it, or that they haven't done the spiritual work to really move into a place where they really want to fully activate their pineal gland. So there's, in a sense, like a stopgap in place here, so that you will perfectly receive the amount you are meant to. So you don't have to worry about that. All right. Anything else? So I Am Creation begins on March 11th. And we're going to be working in that course with the Vesica Pisces, which kind of ties into what we're doing a bit today. If you're not familiar with the Vesica Pisces, it's sacred geometry. It's two circles that overlap together. And in the center of that, which is the male and the female energy, it is the birth of creation itself. And when you can move through that, utilizing what we call a spiraled energy, which is when Raphael came to me the very first time, in 1989, the very first thing Raphael said, we said, first, who are you and what is your name? And I said, Raphael, and we were completely taken back, like the angel Raphael. And then we asked Raphael to describe himself. And we think of Raphael traditionally in religion as a male energy. And Raphael said, I'm not male and I'm not female. I am a spiral of white light, and I descend to meet you in the vibrational place where you are to bring messages of love. And over the years, what I have learned is not only does Raphael descend to where we are, but we get to move up that spiral and ascend not only to where Raphael is, to our own I Am presence, and actually all the way utilizing the Vesica Pisces into creation itself. And when you get to merge with that point of creation, it opens up doorways to give us access to everything that we could possibly imagine that we can't necessarily believe from the place we are in lower vibrational octaves are even possible, meaning miracles become possible, vitality, perfect health, you know, connecting with those that you love and having deeper connections, reining in just abundance flowing all the time. So we're going to work deeply with that process with Raphael and many ascended masters in the I Am Creation course beginning March 11th with Casey. And it's about 4 weeks. If you miss a call, do not worry, there's a replay. And we've had it on an early bird special now for about, I don't know, several months. And on Tuesday, the price is gonna go up, so that's fair to all those who purchased early. So come and join us. It's going to be amazing. All right. All right. Let's all get settled in and start the pineal gland activation. All right. And make sure I can see everything. My screen's doing something weird. Give me 1 second. All right. All right, we've got a lot of people from all over the world, which is so beautiful. So we get to go into the starseed grid today. and rain as much love onto the planet as possible. So if everyone could just take a nice deep breath all the way in and let go. And I want you to just feel your body settling down wherever you are and dropping into the floor or the furniture, and really, really feel that cord of energy dropping from your pelvic floor into the earth and wrapping around the core. It's very important that you're anchored for this transmission.
Hello.
Hello, hello,
Hello. Hello.
It is that we are delighted as always to be here and to love and adore who it is that you are. And so we're understanding that perhaps there's something you are wanting to talk about. And so what is that?
Hi, Raphael. Today we want to talk about the pineal gland and how we can activate our pineal gland more deeply to see more clearly what is the reality that we are existing in, rather than the formation of old constructed beliefs that are holding us back from seeing the true reality that's existing.
Well, it is that your reality is shifting very quickly, and it is morphing, and it is changing. And when it is that you look at an animal and you begin to study them, you will recognize that if they need to really begin to adapt to a changing environment, that their pineal gland becomes larger. Because it is that you need that pineal gland to be fully open and activated in order for you to have a sense of a deep discernment and connection to the world, of the physical world in which you are in, but to the world beyond that, in order to navigate it in a way in which you can open up to infinite possibilities and to solutions. For as you look around the globe, you can see that there is this enormous awakening occurring. And as that is shifting and taking place and occurring, and we talk about this repetitively over and over, it is that old energies are falling away. But as they are falling away, it is the old way of seeing and perceiving needs to be shifted. And it is that you walked along many lands at other times, in other lifetimes, in what many of you call an ancient civilization, in which you had a completely full and active pineal gland. It wasn't even something that you questioned, for there were not 5 senses, but there were 6. And it was even visible there directly on what you call today the third eye. And with that, you were able to travel from place to place without leaving your body. You were able to communicate without utilizing the word. You were able to see the auric field around others. You were able to discern energy in a quickening of a space. You were able to quickly manifest and create with the thought and the word anything you wanted to bring into form. And it was in the way in which you heard and saw and felt and smelled and touched. Everything was different then. But over time, this great imbalance began to occur, and much of it started to occur with the imbalance in what you call the divine feminine and masculine. And as that became deeply out of balance, in a sense, the third eye began to pull back. And as it pulled back, it went into what you call in the center of the 2 hemispheres of the brain, is what is referred to, understood now, as your pineal gland. And at that time, it was a much larger gland and it was fully lit and awake. And now, for most of the beings on Earth, the greatest portion of the population, it is what is called calcified, meaning that it is, in a sense, atrophied. It is not fully open and active. And yet, as your environment is quickly shifting and changing, the importance of its activation is essential. And so today we will talk to you about that, and we'll begin to help you to activate it. But we're wanting you to know that it is something in which you should be doing on your own regularly, and that I should come and speak with all of you as often as possible, perhaps every couple of months, and continue to activate it so it can continue to bloom and to grow. But it is something that is old, it is not new, and yet many are beginning to have a better understanding of its value and importance in the body and how it regulates your hormones and your melatonin as you sleep, and your circadian rhythms and your awakened state and your serotonin and your emotions and your moods, in addition to that of the spiritual realm. And so when it is completely shut and atrophied, which can occur from electromagnetic fields or what you call EMFs, or fluoride in your water, or a disconnection from spirit itself, your ability to have clarity, to discern, to create, to manifest, to communicate, to connect, to feel the I am that I am presence becomes deadened. And so it is vital that you pay attention to it and that you exercise it and you strengthen it like you would any other muscle, and you give attention to it. It becomes open and active when it has light hitting it. And so one of the ways that you can do to help stimulate it on your own is to go outside and not to look directly at the sun, but as the sun is rising, to gaze at it without the retina looking directly. This will begin to stimulate the third eye. You can also do this at sunset and begin to awaken at the sunrise and at the sunset. Now, we know that that is not always feasible in your particular lifestyle, but the more that you can adapt to that, even one day a week, will start to put you back into the rhythm and the connection with the earth. It is this deep disconnection from the rhythms of the earth that we speak about regularly that has created so much havoc across the globe, and as also deeply contributed to the pineal gland calcifying. And so it is that you can call upon different ascended masters, for the ancient ones were very aware of this. And as you will study and look at different religions and texts and different monuments, you will see that the pineal gland is represented as a pine cone. It is a largest pine cone ever, even in the religion of Christianity at the Vatican, that is there. It is of no coincidence that it is put forward to be seen, because it is a recognition from the origin of understanding that the seat of the soul resides there, and the capacity to attune to the presence of the I am, of spirit, of who you are beyond physicality, resides there, and that is the gateway or the doorway or the access to that. You will see it in ancient Egypt, in the pyramids. You will see it in the eye of Horus that comes forward, as Thoth and Isis are very deeply connected to that formation and that energy, and are here today to support the activating and the opening of it. But it is a pinpoint, in a sense. It is a point that is between all things. And so it is that when Kelly was talking to you about the Vesica Pisces, and the reason that I have been speaking to her about that from the moment in which I have arrived to communicate through her vessel, is because that is where creation itself is born. And it is that is the gateway into higher vibrational frequencies, higher dimensions, other worlds and places of being and seeing. Most of you here that are listening to this right now have originated from a star system. You may not know or recognize yourself to be named as a light worker or a star seed, but if you are connected and feeling drawn to be here to listen to this transmission at this moment in time, most of you are from that place, for you have come from another place in order to be here. right now on earth during this transition to begin to awaken and to remember the origin of who you are, so that lower frequencies that are holding and gripping the planet deeply in an old thought form and way of being can begin to dismantle. And as that is happening, the more of you that have an active pineal gland, the clearer you are able to see. You see, when your pineal gland is calcified or atrophied or inactive or shut down, you are more susceptible to the belief systems and the information that may be coming or bombarding you that is not necessarily in alignment with your awakening process. That actually keeps you more asleep. So it feeds off one another. And the more you connect to that information, the more it begins to shrink. And that is why it is important for you to be outside as much as possible and to be away from your electronics as much as possible and to begin to attune back to the rhythms of nature. For it is that we are counting on you, meaning all of you who are awakening to the remembering of who you are, to take these steps in order to evolve on a scale that will allow your planet to begin to thrive again. And so the activating of the pineal gland, it can be utilized and can occur by utilizing different symbols. And one of them is the Vesica Pisces. One of them is the Eye of Horus. One of them is the infinity sign. And it is that the shape, the octahedron, is something in which I'm going to be placing upon all of you today, as I will be activating from the front to the back and to the side the pineal gland. So I want you to begin to just tune in for a moment. And as you're closing your eyes and they are becoming deeper and deeper and heavier, I want you to start to just bring all of your energy and your attention to the left side of your hemisphere. And just begin to feel the left side of your brain. And very quickly, it will start to feel heavy and you'll begin to bring awareness to the left side of the brain. And as you begin to do that, we want you to attune to any areas that perhaps are more lit up, meaning that are very active for you in a way that are positive. And perhaps there may be areas in the left part of the brain that have a black spot that might be darkened a bit. And these can be parts of the brain that are needing now to be released, that are still being held in deep left brain thinking based in ego, anger, irritation, frustration, guilt, and so on. And so just start to tune into them. You just have to look at them as shape. You don't have to identify what they are or where it is that they came from, but just start to tune into the shape. And as you are tuning into any dark areas, we are wanting you to just command and demand that I, as the Archangel Raphael, may come into that space now and begin to bring a wand of light where I touch it gently and it returns it and softens it, and it begins to turn back to tissue that is filled with light, and it begins to lighten up. This is something that can happen immediately in your willingness to ask me to come. And in a sense, I am touching it very, very gently. And in the touching of it, I want you to see in your mind's eye now as it begins to soften and return. And now I want you to just tune in a little bit more to the left side of the brain, the left hemisphere, and begin to see it and tune into that right now. It is all evenly lit all around him. And it is coming and recalibrating itself into balance. And as that is occurring, I want you to bring your attention now to the right side of your brain so that it starts to become heavier and begin to tune into its vibration and its frequency. And there may be areas there that are very lit in your creativity or in your intuitiveness, or as an empath, your sensitivity. There may be other areas that are darkened of overpleasing, being the victim, carrying shame, dealing with the feeling of being a martyr, being passive aggressive, anything in the divine feminine that is out of balance. If you're feeling any energies there that perhaps are darker, just bring awareness to them. You don't have to identify them. And in your awareness, begin to feel as I am approaching you. I am connecting to each and every one of you in this now moment. And as I do so, I am moving into the right hemisphere of your brain. And anywhere that these areas are a bit darker, I am touching them very gently as I am infusing them with light and softening them to return to their original state. So with that, now we're bringing a balance back into this area, rejuvenating and regenerating the brain to its original state of origin prior to any lifetime of any karmic information that was imprinted at any time until this now moment has been lifted and cleared and infused with light, and so it is. And now with that, we are wanting you to feel your eyes becoming even heavier and heavier, as we are going to come over now. And not only am I here this afternoon with Archangel Michael is present, Thoth is here, and the beautiful goddess Isis is available and with us as well as Saint Germain, and the great Buddha is here. The Divine Mother is present, as well as Christ consciousness itself. And as we are tuning, we are coming in. I want you to begin to feel our presence as Lord Maitreya is arriving as well. In addition, here is Metatron. They are coming in droves, for they feel the great importance of this activation that is about to occur now. And as your eyes are becoming heavier and heavier, I want you to feel our presence in the room, in the space, wherever it is that you are, as we are standing now around you in a circle. And as we are standing in this circle, it is that I am approaching you. And as I do so, I am placing the shape of an octahedron over your head. If you're not familiar with what it looks like, that's all right. You just feel my energy coming in. And as this is occurring, I'm going to begin to come and approach your crown chakra. And as I am approaching it, I am placing very gently, and you may begin to feel my gentle touch upon the crown of your head. And as I touch it, just as a baby in that space, there was an opening. We're going to soften and open it a bit so that I may begin to access and move into the left and right brain of your hemisphere of the brain, deeply into that pine cone of the pineal gland. And as that is happening, standing in front of you right now, begin to attune to the energy of the vibration of Jeshua or Jesus, the Christ consciousness in which a beautiful heart is radiating light. And as that beautiful light is radiating toward you, it is bombarding you now with unconditional love. And that unconditional love is coming at such a high frequency that it is hitting your heart and it is clearing away and dissolving any blockages, any heaviness, any sorrow, any grief, any feeling of abandonment, pain, or sorrow from this lifetime or any lifetime is being shattered in this now moment by the high frequency voltage of love being poured and connected and directed to your heart center. And as this is happening, it is that Lord Maitreya is standing behind you. And as he stands behind you, he takes his hand of the great healing light as he places it at the back of your neck. And as you feel that hand coming in at the back of your neck, he is shooting energy in. And as that energy is moving in, it is moving up and through your entire brain and your head, as it is you feeling like water rising as a golden light is filling every single crevice and aspect within inside the idea of what you may call the head itself. Now it is that the Divine Mother is coming down and she is beneath you at the base of your spine. And often at the base of your spine, you connect with a vibration that is more grounded than her. And yet she stands not only here with you, but next to her, the great Mary Magdalene. And they come together as divine feminine energies and they move in at the base of the spine. And as they do this, they're going to begin to turn and twist their energies as they are mixing and floating together like two snakes coiling up the spine. And as they begin to come up through and in and around you, they are rebalancing the divine feminine, moving all the way into the right hemisphere of the brain as it begins to expand and open. And as this occurs, another energy from the base is beginning to turn and twist from the great Saint Germain and the illuminated energy of the Buddha. And they merge and move together, spiraling up over and to the left side as this is recoiling and connecting itself. And now that all energy systems are activated and open, we're going to go directly now into the pineal gland, which will require utilizing your energy and your own imagination. We want you to bring your attention now to your pineal gland as it sits and is seated between the left and the right hemisphere in the middle of the brain. Begin to attune to it, utilizing your imagination to see a small gland. This gland is the shape of a pineal gland. Some of you have some crystals that are beginning to grow from it. Others have larger ones. Some are so wide that they have grown and are blooming like a lotus flower. Whatever shape or form it is in, it is perfect for this now moment, but again to connect to it. And as you are connecting to it, we need you to hold your attention right there on the pineal gland. And we are asking you to continue to see it lighting up as if you are turning on a light switch. And once you have turned on the light switch, we need you to hold it there. And as you're holding it, we are going to sew, utilizing the infinity sign, a spiraled energy that's going to move from ear to ear. So we want you now, as you're holding that light, to begin to imagine that if you were to place your hands on either side of your head, ear to ear, that an infinity sign is running, and it is running from one side to the other, and the center point, like the center point of the number 8, is the 0 point, is hitting that pineal gland where it is lighting up. And the loop of the infinity sign is moving from one side to the other. And the center point is connecting now with that energy that you're holding and keeping lit. And as this occurs now, we're wanting you to imagine as you place your hand now, place your hand and your finger on your third eye, right on your forehead in the center. And we are wanting you to begin to tap. And as you are tapping, can you please imagine that there is an infinity symbol running from this point that you are tapping on to the very back of your neck at the base of your skull. This is the mouth of God, or the casual chakra. And from here, there is another infinity sign that is running where the 0 point is connecting here, right where it is. That the pineal gland is. Now, this is all happening, and you can continue tapping and try to keep feeling and sensing these infinity signs running, meaning that the energy is moving through them. They are going horizontally and they are going vertically. Just keep that going as you're holding in your imagination. Keep holding and holding that the light is becoming brighter and brighter and brighter. And with that now, the great activation is coming in from the Master Thoth. For Thoth is a being of great God who is connected to the magic and the scribe of the Akashic records, the recording of all that ever has been said or seen, spoken, felt, or done, and ever has been. He connects to that energy into the green tablets. He is attuning now to you specifically, to all the lifetimes that you have lived from the soul's birth here, not only on earth, but in all planets, all dimensions, all times, from this moment of birth to where it is that you are now. And as he uncovers and looks through the scribes of the Akashic records of your lifetime, he is going through and dissolving anything that is no longer serving you, any programs that are running, anything that is no longer in alignment with you opening to the fullest capacity of the I am that you are. And as that is occurring right now, he is coming toward you. And as he stands toward you, he carries on himself a beak. If you look at him, sometimes he has the look of a bird, and the beak is coming now over very close as he is zeroing in on your third eye. As he does this, you can begin tapping again. And as you're tapping, it is that he is creating and moving in almost like drilling a tiny little hole right there in the third eye. And as he is drilling in, this is allowing him now to take a golden thread of light that can move through that pinpoint all the way through and into the center of the two hemispheres. And as he is doing this, he is opening and activating your pineal gland. Begin to see it blooming now. And as this is happening, the great Isis is coming forward. And as she comes forward, she takes the symbol of the Eye of Horus that represents all of the senses. And she is drawing it now and imprinting it on your third eye. If you're aware of what this symbol looks like, bring it into your imagination as you see the Eye of Horus and the tail and the teardrop connected to it, as it represents all the sensations of the senses, activating and including now the sixth sense of the pineal gland in an open and active third eye, as it is imprinted energetically, and the DNA coding is connected and imprinted here on this eye. It begins to stimulate in a new way this opening. You are only receiving the energy of the pinpoint is only opening to the width in which you are able to receive the capacity of this light at whatever quotation in this now moment you are ready to receive. And as this comes in now and it begins to stimulate and open this, it reawakens you to the remembering of parts of the Akashic records in which you walked across this land with many gifts. The gifts of telepathy, the gifts of connecting and seeing in new ways, the gift of instant creation and manifestation, the gift of infinite love and abundance, the gift of miracles and complete healing. It is anything in this now moment in which you want to shed light on or bring to fruition. This is your moment to receive, or begin to bring an awareness to anything in which you want to lift into a higher octave, seeing yourself in whatever capacity it may be. Perhaps it is in a spontaneous, miraculous healing anywhere in the body, and so it is. Perhaps it is a connection to a relationship of another who will love and adore you for who you are, and so it is. Perhaps it is abundance that gives you freedom in order to explore and enjoy life to the fullest capacity. And so it is. Perhaps it is a connection to allowing you to feel free to live your purpose and to be the dream and to share the gifts of service in which you have for humanity. And so it is. And so with this now, you're also coming forward as Thoth comes in. He is asking you if you have a desire of any kind whatsoever, for he is here to grant a wish. And as you are attuning to whatever that wish may be, it is moving down, and I want you to drop drop the wish down into the pineal gland, as you see it being in there and lit, as it being illuminated completely and fully, as Lord Lantos is here with the illumination of your sense of self, it begins to expand and expand and expand. And as this is occurring now, I want you just to be in receiving of this divine activation, in deep gratitude and blessings for the love that has come in from the Christ consciousness into the heart, the opening of the pineal gland from the great Thoth and the Isis, the octahedron being dropped down to stimulate all aspects of the brain, the connecting and the rebalancing of the left and right hemisphere of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, bringing you into balance now to walk forward from this day forward as a divine being of light with all gifts fully open, activated, and in aligned with who it is that you are. And so it is. Oh, there is an initiation occurring right now. And if you know that you are one who is receiving this initiation, you can energetically step forward. If you are not feeling called to do this, that is perfect, and it is not your time. If you happen to be right now with a partner or connected to the Egyptian or Hathor energy, you are being initiated into the goddess and God energy that is connecting you to a higher octave that will allow you to serve in a new way, in which fruition of energy is going to begin to move like a fountain of light up through and out your crown. And as it does this, it's going to expand and break free any limitations that have been in your way. It's going to open up a whole new level of energy. But with that will come responsibility, for you will be asked to be of great service to many. And many will come to you and ask you to be there for them, to teach them and to guide them and to love them. And so being willing to accept this initiation is something you need to know and be ready for. And if you are feeling ready for this great initiation, know that you're going to feel something very warm right now that's going to begin to move toward your third eye. And as you start to feel this, you're going to be anointed. And the anointing is taking place by both the Christ consciousness of Jesus and Mary Magdalene, as Mary Magdalene will come forward and initiate you on the third eye, and then again on the throat, and then on the heart, as she bends down and bows to your feet and anoints them, and in doing so washes away and clears away anything, initiating you into a higher realm of being in which you will stand among many of the other masters in order to bring service and love to the planet. And with that, it is that Jesus is coming forward as he is bringing his hand to your forehead as well. And as he touches and anoints it, you feel the warmth and the light and the love and the dripping of the oil as it drops down to the heart. And the hand is now placed on the heart that is open to be receiving of this. And as it drops down from the heart down to the feet, he bows to your feet to say that you have been mistaken to think that I am the only Son of God, for all of you are, my dear child. And it is time now across your planet to awaken to the great beings that you are, the great gods and goddesses of the divine feminine and masculine that come together in balance to rain love across your globe and to dismantle the old ways of hierarchy, power, greed, and shame and poverty, so that you too may live a life fully lifted in abundance and connected with the presence of the I am that I am. And with that anointing and initiation, if you are willing to receive it, you will stand now and feel a transformation, a rebirth that has just taken place within your molecular and cellular structure, within your DNA, in your entire being, as you're beginning to vibrate now at a whole new frequency. And with that initiation, many blessings will be coming, bestowing and dropping around you. They may not be coming in the way you are expecting, but in other ways. And with that, through these great goddesses and gods, many of them will bring forth and give birth to a divine starseed child that will bring new ways of being, seeing, and understanding, that will walk as masters across the globe, so that this earth may come back into balance as it is being renewed, rebirthed, and reborn. And so it is. Great Hathor are available today, as well as Isis, Thoth, and the Egyptian beings. Coming in is Adama, the Lemurians, Sheila, Lady Portia, Saint Germain, the Maltese Cross, the Ankh symbol, the Divine Mother, Mary Magdalene, Christ Consciousness, Lord Maitreya, Buddha, Metatron, Merlin, Archangel Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and the list goes on. For you've been blessed today with many of the great ascended masters from the highest octaves of light, Lord Lantos. And with that, we send you all of our love, who have been now recalibrated and activated to a new vibration. It is your responsibility now to hold that light, to meditate daily, and continue to see the pineal gland getting stronger and stronger, brighter and brighter, more open, and blooming. And so it is. All right, everybody. Wow. Thank you for being on. That was the powerful activation. Please join us for the I Am Creation course. You will not be disappointed. It's going to be life-changing. And thank you all for your beautiful donations that you send sometimes every week or whenever you can. They are appreciated. So Casey's going to pop in the link, the I Am Creation link, so you can register. And I love you.